is to expand. We're not only on YouTube, but we're also on LinkedIn and Facebook. And I want to say good morning, grand rising to each and every one of you. You're in the Fit, Healthy, and Blessed Club here on Clubhouse. But if you don't have the Clubhouse app, I get it. It's okay. But I have an amazing segment to start us off with our Fit Tip of the Day. It's short, it's brief, but it's going to get us started. Krin, are you ready to give us our Fit Tip of the Day?
I am ready.
Whoop, whoop. Go for it.
Okay, Grand Rising people. So we're just going to talk about our quick tip of the day. It's vegetables. Just adding new vegetables onto your plate. Things that you have not tried before. Like cow, spinach, squash, sweet potatoes. Something new. Break up that topic.
I love that topic. Now, let's expand on this Fit Tip of the Day. You said add more vegetables to your plate. Did you say that?
Yes.
So let's think of a vegetable. Can you guys think of a vegetable that you don't normally use? We have Ashley in the building on YouTube. Hey, Ashley. Okay, guys, I'm curious what Carmel is going to say in regards to her vegetable. Because for me, you know what I'm going to say? Asparagus. When I was younger, I never ate asparagus because I thought they looked like ET fingers. So I never. Chris, Cynthia, what's a new vegetable that you use? Is she there?
I'm here.
Can you share?
I'm gonna say squash. I
A
haven't ate.
squash. Now, our squash, no, those aren't the little booty things. That's Brussels sprout squash. Squash is green.
The yellow, they like
The yellow. Okay. So squash and zucchini. Have you ever done that? That's a great thing. Get the squash, get the zucchini, chop it up, put it in some nice oil, and eat it that way. That's a good
You're
fun.
making me hungry.
Ashley, Ashley's so cute. Ashley's at work. Ashley, you better not get fired, girl. This girl on live, guys, at work. Ashley, go. Can you share with us your favorite vegetable or a different vegetable you had?
Yeah, spinach.
What?
Love spinach.
Did anyone understand what she said?
No.
What is she saying? We hear you.
Spinach.
Spinach. Spinach is kind of corny, okay? Spinach is kind of old. Grow up, girlfriend, okay? I'm Papa the Sailor Man. I need you to grow up. No, I'm joking. I love spinach. I recently started adding the garlic, like in the container. My mom actually introduced me to it. Look at her muscles. but Ashley's young, guys. She's a little baby. She's 30 something. But that's good that you have your spinach. But I want to invite you to get another vegetable in there. Anyone else want to share before we move on with our vegetables? If so, unlike
Ashley Beatty, that's a leafy green. It's not necessarily a vegetable, but I can. If Tina's giving you a pass on that, I'll give you a pass too.
What about you? What's your favorite vegetable or new I don't want to say new vegetable, but something you've never really had before. You know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought the initial question was, and I would go with bok choy because I remember I bought bok choy once and I really didn't know what to do with it. I ended up blending it into one of my vegetable smoothies, and I'm like, well, that wasn't very fun. But bok choy is mostly found in Asian and Chinese cuisines, and it's called like an Asian cabbage, and it has and you can actually eat it raw, or you can roast it or saute it, like do a stir fry type thing. And it's every time I have it in an Asian dish, it's absolutely amazing. But because I didn't grow up cooking it or anything, I'm looking at it like I don't know what to do with you, so I kind of leave it in the supermarket. And like I said, when I bought it once, I didn't know what to do with it, so I put it in a smoothie. So I think I'll challenge myself. So thank you, Cynthia, for that. I'm going to challenge myself to some bok choy within this week or next week because I just went shopping and I have my whole refrigerator is green because I'm doing the add more plants to your plate program. I'm doing a 12-week program, add more plants to your plate. And it's because people really don't know the variety of plants or vegetables, I should say, that are out there that have a ton of nutrition. So I love this Cynthia. And not only that, not only do we know the variety that's out there, we don't know how to cook it, we don't know what to cook it, we don't know what to pair it with, we don't know how to eat it. Sometimes we cook it too much. So that's why I think that my program is so important, but I'm excited about that. So
I love it. I'm not letting you go that quick. Okay, so we're talking about bok choy. Bok choy. I need someone to Google it. I need a definition of what it is, what it looks like. I need a photo. Now, is that what you get when you go to the Chinese restaurant and it's like chopped up in the food? Is that what the bok choy is? Carmel?
Maybe oops, I was getting you a picture, but I'm going to say yes.
Okay, and then I thought that's what it was. I just wanted to make sure. But I want to rewind to that spinach because you kind of glazed over. We're talking about vegetables. If you're just tuning in right now, this is your 8 a.m. cup of motivation, our fit tip of the day. And we're talking about vegetables. Cynthia was saying how it's good to add new vegetables. Actually, she was saying more vegetables. Carmel is leading a program, a 12-week program, add more plants to your plate. But she was like, spinach, is it a vegetable? Are we going to talk about that? What is spinach classified as? Would you like to talk about this, Carmel? As I Googled it, is a leafy green flowery plant native to Central and Western Asia. It is in the order of, okay, whatever, ongoing. Would you like to chat about the spinach, Carmel?
Yeah, the spinach is a leafy green, just like lettuce and radicchio and, or if I said that right, radicchio. Kale, collard greens. Would you consider all those leaves vegetables? Maybe some people might because it's green. Maybe some people might, but they're what we would consider leafy greens. The darker, the better. The more bitter the green, the better. The more nutrition, the more it has in its nutritional profile in order to just like really do some good in our bodies. And again, when it comes to spinach, I cringe when people boil it and cook it because when we cook and boil our leaves and even our vegetables, we're really like cooking out all of the nutrients. There are some vegetables that when you cook them, it brings out some of the nutrients, but not most of them. I would have to look that up for you to be a little bit more specific. Like let's take mushroom. Mushrooms are amazing because they'll provide the same nutritional value whether you eat them raw or you cook them. I just recently learned that and I thought that was absolutely fascinating because I love mushroom. But back to spinach, that is a leafy green. When we're talking about vegetables, we're talking about the asparagus, we're talking about the cabbage and the bok choy and of course, our famous broccoli and things of that sort. So did I answer your question?
Yes, you did, Mama. And while you answer the question, I just had to go into a deeper dive with the spinach because when I was younger, like Ashley, little baby Ashley, who said she loves spinach. I love spinach. And like I told you recently, I like cooking it. And I guess because I went to some restaurant and they put a lot of garlic in it. So I like it raw and cooked as well. But you are correct. It is best to have it raw, but if you're just starting out, it's okay. But as I Googled, it is a vegetable. It's used as a vegetable. Many different uses for it, which is really good. The raw spinach benefits. There's no need to shun from raw spinach. And if you go to a restaurant, I don't want to say a restaurant, to one of those stores that have salad bars and you can choose from the different types of salad, please don't go for is it iceberg? Eek, back up like the truck. When you see iceberg, I'll say, give me all the colored ones, the trifold color one, the raw spinach one, grab all those. They're rich in many essential nutrients, some of which are more available to our bodies when we consume them raw. So just backing up to what Carmel said, yes, it's okay to eat them cooked because, you have that feeling, but it is good to have it raw. And I'm just saying this myself, you burn more calories when you eat it raw because you got to do a lot of chewing. Is it just me? That's one of the reasons why I don't like salads is because the fat girl inside me just wants to and you can't suck down a salad, right? You literally have to chew. And, my goal is to chew 20 to 30 times. That doesn't really happen. But, you have to chew a lot when it comes to the spinach. If anyone else wants to chime in on the topic of vegetables or spinach, chime in. I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, if you like spinach, if you don't like spinach. Otherwise, we're going to get started on today's topic. And before I get started, I see we are at 7 shares in this room. If you're looking on YouTube, thank you so much. If you're in LinkedIn, welcome LinkedIn. We're here on Clubhouse. And today we're going to be talking about the 4 elements and how to incorporate them in your daily routine. We are live on YouTube. If you click the link at the top, please subscribe. We're going to be here hopefully that's the goal, Monday through Thursday, giving you all the love, all the inspiration, the tools, the tips, and the tools and the skills and the strategies to become stronger inside and outside. And guys, it all begins with your morning rituals. I don't know about you, but my morning routine is I'm going to say pretty solid. But this morning and yesterday, I decided I have to tighten it up. I have to get a little bit stronger for myself. And I started probably a year and a half ago, if you're watching on YouTube. I'm putting up this book, and one of my Mom Link girls just kind of reminded me to get back to basics. And this book right here is my Morning 5 Planner from Glenn Lundy. And every day he's got this beautiful section in here that has a quote of the day. And the quote of the day is, if you want to be used by God, you have to be willing to, and in fact, embrace the possibility of being inconvenienced. Ooh, that was pretty deep. Can I read that again? Can I get it? Amen. Hallelujah. If you want to be used by God, you have to be willing to, and in fact, embrace the possibility of being inconvenienced. So when it comes to being inconvenient, I don't know about you, but this happens a lot for me. And I just tend to grow and thrive when things get to be a little bit challenging for me. That's why I have to put certain things into place, like my morning rituals. If you go to my if you go into any of my sites, you'll see my website pretty much, starstina.com. That's my 10K card. And you go to my website and I have a free ebook on there. And this ebook is something that I designed last year after having one of the best years of my life. And it started with my vision board a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, I don't know. A couple weeks ago, we had a vision board recap. As you know, we're in the last quarter of the year, and I like to know where I'm going, what I'm doing by the second, by the minute, by the moment. And my vision board had all these wonderful things on it, and I actually did most of the things on there, with only 2 things out of the 5 that I didn't achieve. So at the end of the year, I said, okay, how did you do this, Tina? Because not only did I was scared coming into this current year, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to top going to Paris? How am I going to top doing a full marathon, 26 point something, 4 miles? That was something I had wanted to do for years, guys, but I was scared physically and emotionally and mentally, but I did it, all right? Getting a surgery that I had put off for over 10 years. So at the end of the year, I was like, can I top this? Can I beat this? But it's always competing against yourself. That's my thing right there. I'm not competing against anyone else except for myself. So each day my goal is to be stronger. My goal is to be wiser. And I did that with my morning routines. And then I realized, guys, it's more than the morning, it's the evening. It's the night before. How are you setting yourself up for success? So I have this notebook right here that I have, and every night before I go to bed, I write down the things that I want to achieve the next day. Now, I no longer do a to-do list. I listen to people that make more money than I do, and I was listening to Breakfast with Champions, a social media show, on Saturday with Clubhouse, and I can't remember her name, but she was saying how to-do lists just don't work, and have power hours. Put down what you're going to do and put it into a block. And I started doing that, time blocking my goals. For example, my goal was to update. Here's an example, guys. And please, I invite each and every one of you to do this. Yesterday, this wasn't planned. It just kind of happened. I was looking for a photo or something. And anyone ever start doing something and then end up doing something else and then you forget what you were supposed to do? Happens to me all the time. So I was doing that and I ended up on my phone and I saw I had 200 voice messages. Now, I'm that person that will hold on to something for sentimental values. Guys, I had a voice message from 2018 when I got accepted to get my free yoga teacher training. I was like, girl, you can't delete this message, but it was hurting my heart. And I deleted it, but I wanted to save it. So what I did was I forwarded it to my email address so that it was there for me, because just hearing this was just like beautiful for me. I ended up deleting over 200 voice messages. Don't ask me why I had them in my phone, but getting rid of clutter, guys, taking things off of your plate will make your brain, will make your life so much easier. So today, I invite you to do one thing to get some more space in your life. My phone has more space now. My mind has those those messages that were in that phone, they're gone. So with that being said, your evening rituals start that night before. If it's writing on a piece of paper what you're going to do. And I also added in setting a nighttime alarm, because sleep, guys, let me tell you, is so important. Today, I said, all right, that's it. I'm taking the TV out of the bedroom because I guess I got to put this out there. A few months ago, I moved in with my guy, and for some reason, I don't know why, just getting used to the new lifestyle, we'd fall asleep, the TV would be on. I don't know if you've heard me say lately, it's been hard for me to go to sleep. So this morning, I was like, that's it! That's it! Leave! He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I want it out of the room now. He's like, what are you? It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. We're literally pulling the TV out of the room because my evening rituals need to be a little bit better. Setting that alarm at 8 p.m., my face, guys, that's like a 10, 15, sometimes 20-minute ritual for me when I really get into the, my cleansing and my wash. So your evening rituals are going to set you up for success. Maybe you put some lavender on your pillow. Maybe you put some Palo Santo in the air. Getting the environment, going to those 4 elements. I want you to type in the chat if you've ever heard of the 4 elements. This is something that they taught us in yoga teacher training, and that was probably one of the best trainings I've ever done. It was one of the most challenging, mentally, physically. It was 3 months, and it was a lot. It was a lot, but we did talk a lot about the 4 elements. I want to see if anyone's written in the chat if they know what the 4 elements are. If you're watching this, what are the 4 elements? Welcome to the room. I see a lot of welcomes in here. Joy, have a blessed day. She hit the streets already. Okay. Yes, I see Tammy. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Ada Weehee. Beautiful. I'm giving you a follow. I see Joyce with that beautiful by the pool. Love that photo, Joyce. If you're watching me, get on Clubhouse. You'll see what I'm talking about, guys. But anyway, talking about the evening rituals. The evening rituals are going to turn for your morning rituals. So in the morning, what time are you waking up? What are you doing in the morning? You have your morning 5 here. And here, everyone has their own personal thing. When you look at my ebook, I put a whole lot of stuff in there. There's a book. It's called Miracle Mornings. If you have not read this book, I invite you to read it. It's amazing. It talks about the savers. I'm going to go through those really quick because this is what I started with, guys. I started with the morning savers. S, started with silence. A, affirmations. What are your affirmations? I am amazing. I am strong. Those are mine. V, visualization. Visualizing the life that you want, the future that you want. E, exercise. Are you moving? Okay. R, reading. What are you reading? What are you putting into your head? And lastly, scribing. I invite you to always go to a state of gratitude. What are you grateful for? When you have an attitude of gratitude, life is so much better. In my mind, I said every morning I want to do a 5-minute gratitude post or video or live or something. It didn't quite happen, but it's there. So that's how my my morning ritual started. But as I said, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into the 4 elements. I'm going to check the chat. Hey there, Fit Trainer. Welcome to the building. So Chris wrote it in there. Thank you, Chris. Earth, fire, water, air. Yes. And I saw where Chris actually reposted where I got this idea from. I don't have his name with me now, but I was listening to YouTube. That's how I came up with this idea that I already had in my head because, guys, we have so much knowledge. So much knowledge that we've learned, put it in, just always adding more. And I've decided lately, not that I have to slow down, that I have to really incorporate and use all the tools and the skills that I've gotten. I can't tell you all the notebooks, all the things that I've gotten, but am I really putting it to good use? That's why usually on Saturdays, I listen to the Social Media Club on Breakfast with Champions because I give so much information. But I'm like, okay, Tina, you're getting this information, but are you actually using it? So that's why I decided to add this in here. So I want to talk about air really quick, and I would love to have this a back and forth conversation, the 4 elements. And when you think of air, inspiration, intelligence, and intensity comes into play. And whenever I think of air, I think of movement, I think of lights, I think of breath work. And breath work is so important. That's where I actually learned the importance of breathing. Learn how to breathe. And it's so many different breathing exercises you can do, from box breathing to fire's breath to this, that, just knowing that when you inhale, did you know your belly is supposed to expand? Your belly is supposed to go out when you inhale. And when you exhale, your belly is supposed to come in, because you're getting rid of all the toxins. You're getting rid of all the stale air. You're getting rid of all the stale feelings. So for the next minute, I just want to do a quick little breathing exercise to help you out, because it's so important, guys, that you breathe. So I want us to inhale through our nose and exhale. And then I want us to go a little bit deeper with this breath work. Is when you inhale, I want you to think all happy thoughts, rainbows, unicorns, the sunlight, anything that brings you joy, anything that brings you light. Because guys, you are in total control. I repeat, you are in total control of your life. No one else can lead your life except for you. You are the only one to blame for your successes and for your losses and for your failures and everything. And it begins with your breath work. That's what yoga is, guys, if you didn't know. Yoga is all about the breath work. So let's do one more final inhale through your nose, exhaling it out your mouth. And when you do these intentional breath work exercises, I really want you to push everything out, because there's pain inside, maybe not from you, maybe from past generations, that have to get out. And the breath work can do that for you. I do want to say thank you. Still bird star, powerful vibrations everywhere. Yes. Your vibe is your tribe. I say it all the time, guys. So the second element I want to talk about really quick is fire, 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 fire. I love the fire, and I am definitely a fiery type of person. When I think of fire, I think of energy. I think of transformations. I also think of passion, connecting to your inner self, your power, your inner strength, expanding. I mean, think about fire. It's colorful, it's bright, it's moving, it's going. Actually, you know what? Before I get into fire, if anyone wants to unmic and share their thoughts about air, I see Mary Kim on mic. Did you want to share with us about air, Mary Kim? She's like, oh, that was a mistake. If anyone wants to share with air or breath, how breath work has inspired them or helped them, I would love to hear that. If so, unmic.
Hey, this is Chris.
Hey, Chris, go for it, mama.
Well, I've got this little post-it note on my window when you were doing your breathing exercise, and it's a breathing exercise, so I just wanted to share it with you. You open a window, you breathe in a circle of light, and then you exhale and spray out rays of light back into the world.
I need you to say that again. I heard it, but I need to hear it again.
Light, and you're exhaling and spraying it back into the world.
Hey, I love that. And you look out the window while you're doing it.
My share. So if you all just stand in front of a window and just breathe in what the earth is giving you, and then give it back. And that's it.
Girl, I've been here talking to you, telling you how wonderful it was, but my microphone was off. That was beautiful. Yes. Do you see how important it is, guys, to share, to collaborate? Chris, I met her on this app. She runs an amazing room about pushing your bit. Chris, you want to talk about that real quick? Because I just love collabs. If so, unmic, is she still here?
I'm always willing to talk about my, I started a club called the Non-Traditional Entrepreneurs Club. So anybody in this space, and most people that are in Clubhouse, are some sort of an entrepreneur, and I like to call it non-traditional because most of these people are network marketing, multi-level marketing, affiliate marketing, and sometimes that gets a little bit of a bad stigma. So we're breaking that stigma. We're sharing our products and our passion in my room every Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And come in and share your product, share your business opportunity, collaborate with other people that are on the stage. We get a lot of support people that come into the room too, that might be a VA, or it might be Prince Cynthia that does flyers for Clubhouse rooms. But yeah, join us and just have a little fun and collaborate. We've had a lot of people meeting other people and and experiencing better entrepreneurship. So thanks, Tina.
I love it. I love it. And guys, Chris just actually gave us an example. What we're talking about today is evening and morning rituals and how you can incorporate that with the 4 elements. And she gave an amazing example of looking out your window and inhaling the light and then just giving the light back to the universe, which I think is absolutely amazing, super important. I'm going to go over to the second element next. I want to talk about earth. And when you think about earth, oh my gosh, guys, I am so uncomfortable right now. My phone is about to die. Don't ask me how so early in the morning my phone's about to die. And but anyway, uh, we're talking about grounding. And has anyone ever heard of like grounding sheets? I had some years ago for my bed. And what this is connecting to the earth. The easiest way to do this is to go outside, preferably on grass, barefoot, and just feel the earth beneath you. Just really connecting to that. And I mean, you can Google this. This is how I actually found the sheets, where you plug it into the wall and then it connects to the, I'm not an expert on this, but when you think of the earth and grounding, earth gets to the roots. It connects you to your deeper self, to your powers. And when you're doing your morning rituals and your evening rituals, the breath work that she mentioned, go outside and do that with being grounded. Does anyone have any thoughts on grounding things that they do to establish them? What I do, guys, another thing I do is my bracelets. If you ever notice, normally I'm always wearing my chakra bracelets, and these bracelets I actually made them. They're made out of stones. And I also have this rock to help me stay grounded, because sometimes I get nervous, and I don't know why it's in my purse, but it says grace on it to remind me to give myself grace when it comes to different things in my life that I'm struggling with or not struggling with. But if anyone would like to chat about grounding, I would love to hear your thoughts if you believe it. I see Carmel. Go ahead, Carmel.
Okay, 100% believer, 100% believer of grounding. So during this past summer, I had the opportunity to take my sneakers off after my run, and I walked through the park that I run in. And what it does is, there are minerals, there is energy, there's electricity on the ground in the earth that shoots up to our bodies and actually are healing. I really can't explain it that well. However, they did make a really, it's a short documentary, an hour and 15 minutes long. It's short. And where they discuss it, they talk about why it's important. They talked about how this particular person who does these sheets, who really came out with the patent for these sheets that you're talking about, Tina, how he came about that revelation. And it all has to do with the electricity in the earth. And it's the reason why like when electricity hits the earth in the form of oh my goodness, storms, why things blow up, explode. It's the reason why, like back in the days, people were so much healthier than they are now, because now we're wearing shoes and sneakers, things that take us away from actually being grounded and putting our feet on soil. They show about how kids, especially autistic kids, just yearn to be outside with their shoes off, and they spoke about the healing properties of it. People who were actually able to calm their chronic condition symptoms by just grounding themselves, connecting a body part with the ground. And Tina, I have the link, but while you were saying it, I got so excited because I'm really about this. And
please put it at the top if you can. I was going to say, if anyone can Google the link.
I'm going to put the link up right now. And so I didn't buy a sheet yet. I did buy a pad where I'll step on it for a few minutes out of the day with my bare feet, or I'll put it under my keyboard and I'll have my hand touch it, so that I can get the effects. Now, do I feel a difference? I got to tell you, I do feel a difference. However, there's a speculative part of me that's kind of like, is it just because I'm doing everything right? But I definitely believe it. And after you see this documentary, you might be a believer too. But I'm open to so many different types of healing modalities. And I figure, just try everything that we can. And we might come out at the other end just a healthier, more happier and satisfied version of ourselves. So I'm Carmel, I'm complete.
So Carmel, I'm just going to add on to that, because as she mentioned, there are so many things you can do. As I look I look around this room, I'm looking at my pink Himalayan salt light. I'm looking at the bowl. I don't even know what you call it. What do you call a sound bowl? I'm looking at the plants in the room. I'm looking at the stone. As she said, there's so many things. And what's the name of the grounding documentary that you're mentioning? Because she put it at the top. I love it. I love it. So she put a link at the top. It's called The Earthing Movie, The Remarkable Science of Grounding. But you can just Google sheets. And I think I agree with you, Carmel. When I had the sheets, we plugged it into the wall and I was just like, okay, is this really doing anything? It was very hard to make up the bed. I actually stopped using them because it was difficult to make up the bed. I'm very particular in the morning. I like my bed to be made up, but yes, I do agree about that with the grounding. And you said there's a pad you can put on the floor that you stand on. I've never heard of that. What is that about?
It's the same thing as the sheets. It's just smaller. So they sell them in yoga pads. They sell them in a smaller pad that I do put under my computer, and I step on it. So they come in different sizes. They even have grounding sneakers where they have a thing on the floor that allows it to come up through your body. So they have a whole array of it. And because I'm an Amazon affiliate marketer, or whatever, I've been sending it to my cousins and my sister and things like that to kind of say, hey, buy these sheets or whatever it is that I find on Amazon. I share it that way. But yeah, if you look it up on Amazon, you're gonna see it. And the person who told me about this I've been working with a natural healer, an osteopath, and he told me about the grounding. And I knew about the grounding, taking your shoes off. I did not know about these sheets that you were talking about, Tina. When I learned about it, I was just like, when I hear things like this, I'm just all over it. So I agree with you 158%. And what it does, it also decreases inflammation. It helps with all kinds of stuff. Watch the movie. It's only an hour and 15 minutes long. And they'll explain it so much more better than I can because I'm just now learning about it. I'm complete.
Love it. Love it. So guys, we're talking about morning and evening rituals, how you can add the 4 elements to them. I saw someone else on mic. Did anyone else want to share about the earth? I see Chris.
Hey, Tina, it's Chris. She probably isn't on mic.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I want everybody to stand up. Okay? Stand up. I'm going to take you through a grounding ritual that I do every single morning.
Ooh, we are so lucky. We are so lucky.
Friends and spiritual mentors, one of the most connected persons I know. And I want you just to stand up. This takes just a second. So everybody stand up. I want you to place your feet on the ground with purpose. So stomp your feet into the ground and feel the soles of your feet connecting to the earth. If you have your shoes off, that's even better. But I want you to feel grounded. So you stomp your feet and you say grounded to the earth. Then you bring your arms up above your head and reach for the sky and you say connected to the heavens. And let that connection from the earth to the heavens open up. Then you bring your arms out wide, 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 straight out as far as you can across your chest. And you say, I open my heart. So grounded to the earth, connected to the heavens, I open my heart. And that's what I do every day. I hope you felt it. I hope you got to do it with me. And yeah, just feel it.
Girl.
Say it again, Chris. Say it again.
So you go, you put your feet down, you go grounded to the earth, raise your arms, connected to the heavens. I open up my sacred heart. And you bring your arms out wide.
Chris, can I just say, guys, if you didn't know, Chris teaches a class called...
I hope you guys all felt that. And use it every day. You don't need a grounding pad, although those things are great. But if you put purpose and intention into feeling the bottoms of your feet just radiate down through the earth, wherever you're standing, because I'm a city girl and I can't immediately run outside and grab a yard. Yeah. So that's a good way. Just with intention, ground yourself.
So, Chris, I just wanted to say, go ahead, Carmel, sorry.
I just want to put it in the side chat, so I'm not getting that last sentence. The last sentence.
It's grounded to the earth, connected to the heavens, I open up my sacred heart. And your arms go out wide when you do that.
Did she answer that for you, Carmel?
Yep, I just put it in the side chat. I just wanted everybody to know that, and I want to remember it too.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you for that share so much.
My wonderful friend Mary Beth taught me that years ago, and it's something I do every day. So I'm happy to share it with you.
Wow. So, Chris, I definitely did feel that. And at first, I was sitting here and I was like, I'm not going to do it. But I'm like, you know what, Tina? Do it. And I felt a huge difference, even though, I do stretching every morning. But what I was going to say, guys, is Chris teaches a class on Wednesday. What day do you teach it, Chris? She teaches a class.
Okay, my mic is opening like yours today. 7 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday morning on injury. It's just simple moves that I teach that help you take through your whole exercise routine. You learn how to do bridges correctly. You learn how to do crunches correctly. You learn how to, I'll teach you how to engage each muscle that is involved in all the stuff you're doing when you're working out. So that way you can prevent injury and you can get the best benefit from all the moves and all that hard work you're doing. You want it to benefit you, so why not do it right? So that's what my class is.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So guys, we're talking about the 4 elements, how to incorporate them in your everyday life. Right now, we were talking about grounding. Carmel gave us this wonderful documentary at the top. Chris gave us a great example of how if you don't have to have the sheets, you don't have to have the pads, but just kind of just stretching with intention. The next aspect I want to talk about in regards to morning rituals is adding more air into your life. And in the very beginning, I did a little breath work exercise. And can I just get some stars in the chat if anyone knows what breath work is? If you've ever experienced breath work, do you understand it? Just put some stars in there. I just want to see who's with me right now. Because as I mentioned earlier, when I started my yoga teacher training, they were teaching us how to breathe. And I was just like, what are you talking about? I know how to breathe. I'm living. But I didn't. And most of us really don't know how to breathe, how to really get rid of all the toxins in our body. And you can do so much just by breathing. It makes you feel amazing. Your blood loves it. I don't want to get all into science and medicine, but just the circulation to get things going. Now, I see 2 people put some stars in here for breath work, which makes me think some of you haven't really heard of breath work too much. The person in my next room needs to be quiet, please, because they're kind of loud. Good morning, Maurice. We're talking about breath work right now, and my favorite would be box breathing, which is super, super, super. All right, guys, I am back here. So breath work, lion's breath is another important one. And it's funny when you hear these things, at least when I first heard them, I'm like, oh, that's woo-woo. I was going to yoga class and I had never heard of fire's breath. And this girl's like, oh, are they going to do fire breath there? And I'm looking at her like, what are you talking about? Like, you think you know it all. So give me your thoughts on breath work. What is your favorite type? What do you like? There's another one where you hold your belly and oh my gosh, there's so many different things. But my favorite is definitely the box breathing. And I'm going to share that with you right now, something you can do in the morning with the breath. And this is something you can do in the morning. So think of the shape of a box, okay? So we're going to inhale. You go up in the box, you're gonna hold it. And as you hold the breath, think of closing the top of that box. And then you're gonna exhale. And then keep exhaling, 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 exhaling as you close the box. So again, inhale through your nose. And you're gonna hold it at the top. And as you're holding it, your belly is sticking out. You're holding it. And then you're exhaling it. Now keep exhaling, 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 exhaling. That's what they call box breathing. And then you can put a little more intention with it also. Would anyone else like to share their thoughts on breath work, if they've ever done it, how they do it? If so, on mic, let me hear your thoughts. If you don't understand it, if you have a question about it, let me look at my chat here. On mic, oh, looks like, what you call it is. Ash, what are your thoughts on breath work? Do you do it? Talk to me, mama.
I actually do box breathing.
You're
have.
breaking. You're breaking up. We can't hear you. Say that again, hon.
Can you hear me
Can you
now?
hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I actually
I
do the
actually do the
breathing a
breathing
lot
a lot
because I have
because I have
anxiety
anxiety
and I don't have
and I
any
don't
patience.
have any patience.
So the box
So the box
breathing
breathing
calms both of
calms
those.
both of those.
Okay, for some reason, every other word is coming in, but if you didn't hear her, she said she does box breathing and it helps her with the anxiety. Is that correct, Ash?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And how did you come up with that? Did you just one day say, I'm going to breathe? Or like, how do you know it helps with your anxiety?
Therapy.
Therapy.
I went to
I went to
therapy.
therapy.
Okay, I love it. I love it. And like Carmel said earlier, there's so many different things that you can do, guys, to better your health. And box breathing and breath work is super important. Anyone else want to share their thoughts on air and how you put it into your morning and evening rituals to make you Mary Kim, hit it. Or
I'd love to go. What I'm realizing is one, I need to do more grounding, and I think I need to get into yoga. I really think I need to add that to my morning routine. I did that exercise with Chris. I felt so like, that's the only way I can describe it. And that grounding, Carmel, definitely send me your link. I just need to add that. I mean, I do a big routine in the morning. I've been doing it for something like 30 something years. And so I just think it's time now I need to add something additional to it. And thank you for this conversation.
So, Mary Kim, I definitely agree with you 1,000% because, guys, as for me, as I got older, I got more wiser. And I did not I thought yoga was boring. I'm like, I don't want to do yoga. I was my most fit when I did yoga. Internally, mentally, I was so strong because with the yoga comes the meditation. Keeping still, so very important. I see Joyce. Joyce is trying to get up here. I keep clicking you an invite, Joyce. Maybe you have to go out of the app and then come back in, perhaps. But right now, guys, we're talking about breath work, correct? Yes, air. And yes, please remind me, guys, I got off the track because I'm trying to get Joyce up here. Anyone else want to share their thoughts on this? Ash was saying how breath work has helped her with anxiety. I know, is that breathing in a bag, Ashley, or is that just regular?
Nope. Just a regular.
Just regular breath work. Okay, I like that. Was Joyce able to get up here? Let's try one more time. Let's try to get my Joyce up here one more time.
Bye, Tina.
Bye, Mama. So, guys, Ash is leaving us off of YouTube. If you click the link at the top, you'll notice we are live on YouTube. Joyce, share your thoughts about the topic.
Good morning, Tina. How are you?
Hey, girl. Hey.
I've done different breath work. A lot of it's via meditation, some with the anxiety. Another type of box breathing is you breathe in 4 to 8 times. A lot of times you start with 4. So it's like 1 breath in, 2 breath in, 3 breath in, 4 breath in, hold it. And then you breathe it all out and it calms your nervous system down. And that's a really good one for a little anxiety, or, even if you're just stressed or you're at work, someone's bothering you and you just want to kill them or whatever, take just like a minute and just do that over and over. And it just kind of centers you and calms you down. I've done the breath of fire, which, with the arm movements and different stuff. And that's pretty wicked. They want you to do, I've never gotten longer than 3 minutes with that, but yeah, that was it. Thanks.
Thank you so very much. Guys, I did an exercise with this lady, and her name is Liz. Whew, my daughter introduced me to her, and it was breath work, but first of all, you had to have tissue next to you. And it was so intense where you inhale, it's all with your nose. And once you're doing it properly, like all this snot and stuff starts coming out of your nose. It's like a half an hour at least, I think we did. And your exhales, the breath just gets all the crap. It goes deep. I'm going to see if I can get her on here one Monday, because when I say, guys, a game. It was scary after a while, and then I did it a second time and I had my stones with me. Stones are very important. By the way, I haven't even finished unpacking, guys. I usually have my stones with me, but yeah, all this stuff from the stone to the breath work. I'm going to have to look this up. It's true. It's true. Fit Trainer, talk to me about breath work, guys. Fit Trainer is a coach. He is phenomenal. Attitude, energy. We're talking about morning and evening rituals and how you can add the 4 elements. Do you do any of this stuff, Fit Trainer? Are you able to chat? If so, on mic. If not, I'm going to go to the 4th element. He's probably training a client with one of his babies.
No, I just got done with training, but as far as breath work, like I'm not. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm not as versed as all y'all, so I'm learning a lot about the breath work. But I do tell them to control their breathing whenever we're working out, because it's definitely important not to be heaving and like I tell them, make sure you take in deep breaths in through your nose and out your mouth, And then I tell them, after workouts, they have to control their breathing. So breathe in about 4 seconds, hold it about 4 seconds, then release for about 4 seconds. But that's it on the breath work for me. But I'm listening. Y'all giving me some gems. I'm so keep on.
Yes, so true. Another exercise, guys, if you're feeling very anxious during the day, this is something they taught me in yoga. Just bend over, grab your elbows, and just let the crown of your head melt to the floor. Let your heart just lay on your thighs and sway your elbows from side to side. That relieves stress. It relieves anxiety. And most times we just have to slow the freak down, guys. I know that I've learned that a lot in the past few months, just slowing down, taking so many things off my plate, because I don't know about you, but this brain of mine, God has put so much stuff into it, so many ideas, but I'm like, slow down and just really get focused, get intentional with where you are, with what you're doing. Evening and morning rituals we're talking about, guys. We talked about air, the importance of that. Breath work, we talked about earth, getting fired up. We talked about fire, and water is the last one. When I think of water, I think of flow. I think of flexibility, surrendering, emotional release, intuitive, inner reflection when I think of water. What are you drinking when you first get up in the morning? I usually have water next to my bed, and as soon as I get out of bed, usually I go to the bathroom first. That's my first thing. But as the morning goes, I drink water. So my next question to you is, what are you putting in your water? So I put these electrolyte drops in my water, because you can drink a whole lot of water. And I always tell my clients, drink at least half your body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, then drink 100 ounces of water. But I currently put this in there. If you don't have the electrolytes, you can put Himalayan salt. You sometimes put lemon in it. But what the water does is it gets everything moving in your body. And this might seem a little gross, but what color is your urine? I used to think it was supposed to be clear. And then I realized, from studies, it really should not be clear. And I would be excited, like, oh, it's clear, but it should be like a light little yellow, not dark. If it's dark and smelly, you definitely need to drink more water. But when it comes to your evening rituals, right now in the mornings, I don't know why you put extra tea bag. If you're watching, I like to have tea in the mornings, and then I'll put my energy, whether it's my ketones or something in it, and then having a nice warm cup of tea. That's how I like to start my mornings. And then before you go to bed, just bringing it down. Another thing you can think about, guys, is think of how the sun works. Okay, so when the sun is rising, we are getting up. And then when you're going to bed at night, your evening rituals, you want to start bringing your heart rate down, bringing your mindset down. And I like to use my tea to do that right there. Would anyone like to share their thoughts on water, how they use water to energize themselves in the morning or in the evenings? I would love to hear if anyone has anything different than what I do, because I'm learning from you guys. If so, on mic, share your thoughts on that topic. I'm going to look at my chat here. Go ahead, Carmel.
So I drink lemon water first thing in the morning. I heard that what lemon water does is aids in the digestion. as you wake up in the morning, and it helps kind of like move things through. I think Chris does this too, and I think she has a better way of explaining it, because I just do a bunch of stuff and I'm like following the leader, because it makes sense to me for me to regurgitate the information. Sometimes it gets a little convoluted, but the lemon water is supposed to aid in digestion, especially when you're waking up in the morning, and what happens in the morning is body is still digesting what you ate the previous day, and it just kind of like helps flush everything through. So that's what I do. I'm Carmela Complete.
Hopefully Chris will chat, but before we do, and it just made me think of something you said before, Carmel. In the morning, you know, we're drinking water, we're still digesting from the night before, and sometimes if food's around, you'll just put it in your mouth. Maybe I'm just talking for myself, but in the morning, you really don't need to have food right away in the morning. You know, if you might see some popcorn or nuts or whatever, you know, just give your body a rest in the morning for a few hours. And then your routine in the morning is super important. Chris, are you able to chat in regards to water and liquids in the morning, what you do, or evening?
Yeah, Carmela, you got it right. Do that lemon water, and it does aid in the digestion. And I did hear at one point that it's kind of like a little bit of a cleanse for your colon too. So just a tablespoon of lemon. You don't want to get too much in there. And so I'll do 1 glass with that. I have about a 15-ounce glass that I drink out of. And then I also start the day with 1 glass of that. And then I take a 1/4 teaspoon of really good salt. I like Redmond's real salt, or if you like a pink Himalayan salt or a Celtic salt, a salt that still has its minerals in it, not Morton salt, because it is stripped of everything. So I take a 1/4 teaspoon of that, put it in my palm, I just lick it off, and then I down my second 15-ounce glass of water. So right then and there, I have 30 ounces of water in me first thing in the morning before I do anything else. And it gets you that full feeling, but your body hasn't had anything to drink in, 8 hours or however long you slept. So we need to rehydrate first thing in the morning. And then speaking to what you were talking about, grabbing that popcorn off the counter, Tina, wait 90 minutes before you put anything in your mouth, because you're allowing your cortisol level to lower, because your cortisol level did what it was supposed to do. It woke you up. It's your alarm clock. When it gets high, it wakes you up. But give it 90 minutes to just even out and get steady state, because if you put food in your mouth, then you need insulin to digest that food, and insulin and cortisol do not like living in the same space. They do not like being together. So if your cortisol is high and you need insulin to help you, you're going to have kind of a mess. So let that cortisol level out for 90 minutes and just enjoy your water and get hydrated first thing in the morning. I hope everybody can understand that.
Yes. Fire, 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 guys. I need you to tap into Chris right now. If you didn't know, she, in my opinion, is a fitness professional, keto coach, ketone brand ambassador, frickin' injury prevention instructor and coach. She's amazing, guys. Join her class, join our tribe. Every Monday night we have an introductory welcome to our tribe meeting, and she always pours into us with some little nugget. And the one nugget I want us to catch from her today was that 90 minutes. So Chris, I'm gonna scissor this because I want to put it on my page. Can you just recap again the morning ritual that you said? Would love to hear that again.
Sure. Let's do it. So every morning when you wake up, enjoy 2 glasses of water, 1 with a tablespoon of lemon and 1 with a 1/4 teaspoon of really good high-grade salt. Then wait 90 minutes before you put any food in your body, because you want your cortisol level to level out before you put food in your body, which will cause insulin to come in and digest it. Insulin and cortisol do not like living in the same space. So give yourself 90 minutes in the morning to enjoy water and hydrate yourself.
Hey, Tina. Crystal want to explain it. What all she put in her water.
Yes, Yes, I was saving the link and I didn't want to lose it. So that's why there was a delay there. I hope I got it. I was trying to clip what she said. Yes, I got it. Woo woo! Crystal. Crystal is the other half of Fit Trainer, guys. She is amazing. Go for it. And we're listening to the, does he have it here? Be Me Fitness. Fitness, go for it. Introduce yourself, share a little bit about your business, and give your thoughts. Would love to hear from you. Looks like they're having a little technical difficulties over there. Guys, we're talking about the 4 elements and how to incorporate them in your routine. We're about to close out this room in a few minutes. So if you have not already, subscribe to this YouTube channel, click the link at the top, follow the person next to you, above you. We're here Monday through Thursday. I'm just waiting for Fit Trainer to unmic so we can hear from Crystal, who's going to share her thoughts on her morning ritual. I'm thinking she's going to be talking about water. They run an amazing program. I'm still trying to stall while they get it together. Maybe they'll be able to speak. Maybe they won't. I see Tracy unmiking. Tracy, share with us, Mama.
Hey, Tina, good morning. I just have a quick question for Chris about why the salt. She mentioned 2 glasses of water, one with lemon and one with salt. I just wanted her to elaborate on why the salt. I missed that part. Thank you so much.
Hey, Tracy, good question, because I don't think I even explained why the salt. We're all talking about electrolytes, and a good salt has all the minerals you need, and it's probably the cheapest electrolyte you can buy, but you have to have a good salt. And like I said before, I use Redmond's real salt. Celtic salt, if you even look at Celtic salt, it's kind of got a gray look to it. It's still got all those great minerals in it. So the salt has potassium, it has magnesium, it has all this stuff that you put in electrolytes that you're drinking in an electrolyte, but it gives you, it's an electrolyte. It's in a form of electrolyte, and it's the basis of all electrolytes. So salt gets such a bad rap. But if it's a good salt that's mineral dense, speaking with potassium and magnesium and some other stuff that's in there, then you are replenishing your body with those minerals that it needs. And sometimes people get caught up in drinking so much water that they dilute the minerals out of their body. So it's so important to have the electrolytes Tina was talking about. I like an electrolyte I get from my company. It's called Mytoplex. It's what we call upgraded electrolytes. It's got the purest form of minerals in it, and it comes in citrus flavors that you can just pour in water. And that's another reason I like a little flavor in my water. So you can buy all kinds of electrolytes that has a little bit of flavor and give you flavor. So what I usually do is 1 20-ounce version of my water throughout the day is going to have electrolytes in it. First thing in the morning, I'm going to have that little smidgen of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, to get my body back into mineral balance. I hope that answered your question, Tracy.
It does. Now, I use Morton salt, and when I came so can you tell me if Morton salt has electrolytes or not? I missed that.
Okay, all right. So I love Tina's response to that. No, throw away your Morton salt. It didn't cost that much, so you don't have to cry too much about throwing it away. If you look at the label, it actually has sugar in it, okay? And what they do with Morton salt is they strip out the minerals, and then they iodize it, and I'm not sure the reason for that. It's gone through a process where it's really not salt anymore. So when your doctor takes you off salt for high blood pressure, that's the salt they're taking you off. You can still have a good pink Himalayan salt. You can still have a Celtic salt. You can still have, like I said, my favorite is Redmond's real salt. And Carmel, put that on your Amazon affiliate or whatever you do with that, because it's on Amazon. You can get your Redmond's real salt on Amazon, but please throw away the Morton salt. That's it.
And Chris, just because you just mentioned that you're not sure why they iodize the salt. I know that years ago, it seemed that Americans were very deficient in iodine, and that's why regular table salt comes with iodine, and you'll see it say iodine. And so that helped. Actually, that was something good that the government did for the American people. But I can't say now if it rings true still. But that's why they had added iodine to our salt. And so this Morton salt still has iodized sea salt, but just like you said, and I checked that label, I was mortified when I learned that there was sugar in Morton salt. I don't know what other brands have it, but I stick to what you just mentioned, like the pink Himalayan salt. The only ingredient in salt should be salt, right? And we take it for granted. We just pick up salt off the shelves because we're trusting that the only ingredient in salt is salt. But check ingredients, y'all. And Carmel, I'm complete. Thank you for that, Chris.
Did that answer your question, Tracy? Any other questions?
Wow. I just got a master class here on salt. So thank you. I will be throwing out my Morton salt. I had no idea it had sugar in it. That is incredible.
Yes, Tracy. We are very lucky to have the tribe. And tonight we're going to be talking about oil. So if you want, give me a text. I'll give you a ring. Chris is going to be sharing the different types of oils you should use. Because it's like, do we use vanilla, Lord, vegetable, canola, Crisco? Like, we're not going to talk about it now, but that's where we're going to be tapping in tonight. So if you'd like to be a part of that discussion, just link in. Guys, we're coming to the top of this conversation today. I decided to talk about morning and evening rituals, but to go a little bit deeper and adding the 4 elements to them. We talked about air, we talked about earth, fire, and water, and how you can add those to your morning routines and to your evening routines. And I loved how Carmel said, just always adding more things. Now, this is something where I think you can never add enough. I went and I was looking for a present for my daughter this weekend. You ever go to one of those crystal shops? I love those stores. And they must have had about 40 or 50 different squares of stones, and I just kind of put my hand in each one, the amethyst, the tiger's eye, just each one. And I think, you know what, I think I'm going to do this every week, just go into this store. And it felt so amazing, just becoming part of the earth. Has anyone here ever gone into a cave? In Bermuda, they have this thing called crystal caves. When my children were younger, they had a school trip to this cave, and they had this box. I still have it in storage, guys. And they got to pick different rocks and stones from the caves. Has anyone ever been to a cave before? Unmic and share. I'd love to know. We're in the chat if you ever went to a cave. No? Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Crystal caves, that's where I went when I was younger. But just becoming, connecting to the earth. So just realizing how you can instill more of these elements into your daily routine is super important. Carmel mentioned a documentary on grounding. If you want to go back and watch that. What was the name of the documentary again, Carmel? If you can just let us know. Earthing.
Earthing, yeah.
Is it Netflix?
It's actually free on YouTube.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. So there's
Earthing the movie. That's what it's called.
Earthing the movie. So maybe, I don't know, Mary Kim will chat about it tomorrow when she's on here. But Earthing the movie talks about grounding. And, as I round this off, I just want to say, for me, and I'm only sharing you what works for me, what I've shared with my clients, what's worked for them. I'm not telling you what to do, guys, but this is stuff that's worked for me. So that's why I'm sharing it with you, so that you can have a healthier life, mentally, physically, moving your body, getting these morning rituals going. And if you just tap into me and my tribe, I run an online fitness boutique studio. We're here Monday through Thursday, giving you all the love, all the inspiration. Hopefully Mary Kim is able to pop on and share a little bit about herself and what she'll be talking about tomorrow. And with that being said, we're here on Clubhouse. Go ahead.
I was talking to the mute button.
Go ahead, Tracy.
No, I was trying to chime in earlier. I was talking to the mute button. When you asked if anyone had been inside of a cave, I went to a cave not far from me. I live in Atlanta, but I went to a cave in Tennessee at Lookout Mountain. It's called Rock City in Tennessee, and Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. And I mean, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So beautiful to be, underground. It was just absolutely amazing.
Tracy, isn't it amazing?
Everybody is in the Tennessee area, Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. Check out Rock City.
And I just want to chime in with that really quick, Tracy. We have so many things right around the corner from us that we can go to just get God's beauty. I've wanted to go to the Grand Canyon for a long time. I went to Joshua Tree. I went to a lot of national parks, and there was one, I have to really remember the name of it, but when I say this was the most magical, most beautiful place I've been, just looking at the mountains and how they're carved, and then at nighttime, guys, it was so dark, all you saw was stars. It was like you could not even see your hand in front of your face. It was so dark and so beautiful. And I think sometimes we take these things like life, like the trees, like the wind, the moon, we take them for granted, and we're just go, 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 go. You know, so I'm gonna hush, just embrace your life, your love, and everything. Mary Kim, share with us, Mama.
First of all, this has been an amazing segment. I've learned so much, and so I'm going to start implementing all the things. And yeah, I'll talk about the grounding film tomorrow. Yeah, and definitely vote for me today. I'm going to start posting on my social media once every 24 hours. Fab over 40, let's represent. Yeah, this has been a great day. Love you all.
Thank you very much, Mary Kim. Alrighty, guys. So as I mentioned, you were in the Fit, Healthy, and Blessed Club here on Clubhouse, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Why? Because I feel that we have to share the love. We have to share the knowledge, and that's by one person at a time. So if you enjoyed what you heard today, please share it, and join us here tomorrow, 7:55. I kick in the doors with a little motivation. Otherwise, thank you for coming through. We're out of here in 5, 4, 3, 2. You are number one. I'm ending the broadcast over here.